Hey there, you may be wondering what words you need to avoid in order to prevent your partner from shutting down or just walking away. Well, there's good news because there is a list, but I'm going to do even better than give you a list. I'm going to give you some groups of ideas that you can implement right away that is going to help you have better communication because you want to be heard and you're actually a lot of times probably not even trying to be aggressive or to say something that your partner really needs to shut down. So the first thing that I just have to say is that it may or may not be you that is shutting them down. It actually may be an internal thing that's shutting them down. We all have a history of all of the things that have ever happened to us, and you know about past trauma and you know things like that. And I'm not going to go too deep into that right now, but I do want to let you know that whenever we hear a certain word that has been spoken before to us in a certain tone or an environment, that can automatically shut us down. And you might be saying, well, why is that my problem when I'm not saying anything that's wrong? Technically, that may be true. Here's the thing. You are in a relationship with your partner, and it is your responsibility as a partner to help your partner grow and evolve. Besides that, it has its advantages for you to grow too. So I'm going to go off the lecture piece for now, but either way, you want to be heard, and that's what we're talking about today. The first thing that I want to say, and this isn't the list yet, but it's very important because I would say that we can't even get to the list if you don't do this very first thing. The first thing is give your partner a choice. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that you give them a choice about whether they hear about the conversation or not. The chances of them being available are not 100%. You know, I heard one time that Harville Hendrix said this. He said that everyone is listening to or watching a movie in their own mind. It means they're doing something or they're thinking about something. And so we are interrupting them when we want to talk to them. So the first thing is that you want to ask your partner if you can talk to them about something. Now, to make this even easier for you, if you drop the line conversation under this video, I'll send you how to start a conversation because there's some specifics about that. But let's go on to the words. Some of the words are, if you start a conversation with don't, one word, stop, watch, do, all these things. And what do you notice about the words that I'm using? Stop. It's not only a command, but it's a directive. It's telling someone what to do. I want you to ask yourself, what happens when someone tells you what to do? Well, if you're like me, then you get bent out of shape. And I'll tell you a story. There was a couple of weeks ago, someone sent me an email and I was really fired up about it. And I was just telling my spouse, can you believe what they said? I know who this person is. And I was just going off and my spouse said, don't do anything. I was just looking for some support and just listening, and the don't was like just set me off like a rocket. So the first thing that we want to just avoid is those do, don't, watch. Sometimes my spouse will say, they'll put a protective arm out and say, watch out. And I'm like, why don't you tell the other person on the street to watch out? Why is it me that has to watch out? Anyway, you can tell some people, this person here, gets activated by those words. So even better than a list though, I want you to start your sentence. Now, I don't want to tell you what to do because I just talked about that. If you want a better chance of having your conversation go well, the thing that you want to avoid is also you. Now, I am going to be talking about I statements here a little bit, but I want to give you a nuance to the I statement. So an I statement is, I feel upset when you do that. Well, that is a better statement than you upset me. So I think first off, start the sentence if you want to be effective with I am having a problem with is a really good starting sentence. And you want to talk about your own problem. I'm having a problem with the messy kitchen, right? So the word to avoid is you. Another word, just to recap some of these things that we've gone over before are watch out, don't, do, start. All of these things are going to trigger your partner. And I think really importantly, Make sure that you check to see if they're available. And that would be something like, hey, can I talk to you about this problem I'm having? Can I talk to you about a chore that needs to come up? And I'll say one last thing, because this will segue to the next video that you can watch and learn about, is I think when you ask someone if they're available, they may actually, give a little bit of a grumble or okay. And that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So here's the biggest tip of this whole video is know your partner and know what they're reacting to. It is not always about you. It is not always about the things that you said. One of my good friends says, it's not all about you, Pearl. There was a line from the cartoon. Why can't I think of the cartoon? SpongeBob SquarePants. And so if you've ever seen that SpongeBob SquarePants episode, it's not all about you, Pearl. So watch the words you use, watch the conversation start up, and make sure that you subscribe below so that you can get other tips on how to create a partnership so that you can talk to your partner without them being shut down or avoiding what you have to say. I hope this has been helpful. Make sure that you like this video and follow me for more tips.